trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it, now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
Looking in the mirror 'cause it's only you that you have to love. got me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi.
passers-by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. Sometimes I feel that my love's run out. When things don't go to plan, I kinda lose my mind. I hope it's real, this life comes around. Just keep your faith and search for the fountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.
Cause I don't want nobody change me now. Cause I like to be myself. If you're not agree, you can walk away. You can walk away. You can walk away. Something in my mind makes me think I ain't nobody perfect. Something in my mind makes me think I ain't nobody perfect.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for Carabao Cup action tonight. Manchester City taking on Tottenham Hotspur away from home in the Carabao Cup. Away City go to a stadium that they have a pretty bad record on to last season, where last season City went and got 2 wins there. A goal from Nathan Ake in the Carabao Cup, I do believe. It could have been the FA Cup to knock Spurs out. And then Manchester City went and won there in the Premier League. Sealed the deal with a penalty from Erling Haaland. Tonight, City play Spurs once again in the Carabao Cup, a game which Pep Guardiola is not put too much pressure on his players for, I don't think. Obviously, City want to go there to win, but he has rotated the team heavily with some big injuries in the side. There's quite a few Carabao Cup games on tonight as well, and I hope you can join us and enjoy this one with us. Alfie Lively, a We Are City fan club member, one of the most integral parts of the channel, is here. Come on, City, says Alfie. Welcome, Alfie. It's great to have you. City versus Spurs, the City 11 and also the Spurs 11. They're on the screen for you right now. Manchester City are going with the sort of 4-2-3-1 formation. It looks like it could be Foden at false 9. It could also be James McAtee in there as well. So Stefan Ortega starts in goal for Manchester City. Rico Lewis, John Stones, Manu Akanji and Nathan Ake make up the back four. Ilkay Gundogan, the captain, alongside two youngsters in James McAtee and Nico O'Reilly. That midfield three. It's then Mateus Nunes on the left, Savinho on the right, and expected to be Phil Foden in the false 9 role, but it could also be McAtee there with Foden in behind him. A fluid-looking City starting 11. And City have got 8 players on the bench, 3 of those youngsters with a chance to impress. Ederson starts as the only goalkeeper on the bench. We've then got Ruben Diaz, Mateo Kovacic, Erling Haaland and Bernardo Silva, Joshko Vardiol, and the 3 youngsters are Jacob Wright, Jamai Simpson-Persay, and also Fahad Alpha Ruprecht as well, a young German signed from Hamburg at around 15, 16 years of age and looking to be a key player in the City side of the future. He's compared himself to Kylian Mbappe, and if he gets on the bench, he might be able to show that. Says Alfie, I want Fahad Ruprecht to come on, and it would be great to see what he's about. Well, he's a very pacey, young, wide player, exciting, decisive, and hopefully he can play a key role. Derp is here as well. It's been a while, Derp. Great to have you back. Nice to see you here on the channel. Spurs, however, they go with a strong side, pretty much their full starting 11, I'd say. Maybe one change with Dragusin at the back. So Vicario will start in goal for Spurs. It's great. Archie Gray, the youngster, Captain Cuti Romero, Dragonson and Mickey van der Ven in the back four. Bentancur starts in the holding midfield role with San Kulusevski in front. It's then Timo Werner on the left, Brennan Johnson, who's been a bit of a goal machine since his criticism that he faced online, and Dominic Solanke up top for Tottenham Hotspur. They do have options off the bench like James Maddison, but City versus Spurs today, I expect to be a pretty entertaining game of football. In the tunnel at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium are the mascots currently. Quite a few Spurs mascots there with the shirts on. Manchester City have 1 or 2 who've made the travel down to London. The City and Spurs teams will be coming very shortly into the tunnel and ready to come out onto that field in what is a fantastically well architected, if that's the word, that's a fancy word, stadium that they've built there in London. Spurs are a very, very good side, and they lost in midweek, or this weekend, as this is a midweek game, to Crystal Palace. A 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace, unexpected defeat to Crystal Palace, you would say, the way they've been playing. But Spurs do seem a little bit inconsistent. Spurs, this is a big game for them. I think it's a big game for Spurs, because Spurs know, there's no chance of Premier League, there's no chance of European trophies. And Ange Postecoglou has promised in a press conference, he says he always wins a trophy in his second season. Now, he said he's not boasting, he's not saying anything that isn't fact. It is fact that they always win a trophy in the second season. That is what Ange Postecoglou does. So he is saying that due to that, there is expectation that Spurs will win that. So they've got to go strong today, which they have in the Carabao Cup. I assume they'll go strong throughout the FA Cup as well, as they look to try and win some silverware. Something that Tottenham Hotspur have been pretty devoid of over many years. Aston Villa have just equalised, by the way, against Crystal Palace. It's 1-1 in that game at Villa Park. And who else but John Duran, the man who just cannot stop scoring. An absolute goal machine, the Colombian, isn't it? And he's got a real sort of attitude about him. Perhaps the new Balotelli in the way he plays, the way he acts, the personality that he has. There's plenty of games going on in the Carabao Cup tonight. Man United lead. They do. Arsenal lead Preston by 1-0 goal from Gabriel Jesus, a former Manchester City player. We've got Man United in head due to a Casemiro screamer. Leicester City play Chelsea, playing Newcastle. Newcastle currently leading by 1-0. A goal from Alexander Isak. I don't know why Manchester City kick off so late. I think it's to try and televise as many games as possible. But Chelsea are behind, against Newcastle. Liverpool have taken the lead against Brighton. Oh, goalless actually, 0-0. All the goals are being shown, all the games are being shown on Sky Sports Plus. But the City game is on Sky Sports main event. So Arsenal in front, Brighton and Liverpool still 0-0. One of the most goalless, one of the only goalless games that are going on at the moment. Lots going on in the Carabao Cup. Lots of goals, and hopefully we see lots of goals today. Is a light show currently on the field here at the London Stadium. Manchester City in that third kit today, the maroon kit, which is a really nice kit. The away kit doesn't get to be worn quite so often, does it? So lots of Premier League teams in action tonight. Brentford winning 5-4 against Sheffield United Wednesday on penalties yesterday. And Southampton beating Stoke City by 3-2. They're just some of the other teams that have gone through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Stefan Ortega in goal to City today. Will Ortega be looking for another clean sheet? I mean, when he plays, he tends to get them. I'm glad he gets a lot of opportunities under Pep Guardiola, and I think probably deserves more. I expect Stefan Ortega to be playing for another club next season. I don't think he'll be a City goalkeeper, unfortunately. I think he's too good to be a backup choice. We saw that many a times when he's played for City, and most especially, you could say, on this ground last season in the Premier League. Ederson substituted off injured after colliding with the boot of Kyle Walker on the eyes or the cheekbone. On Ortega comes to win Manchester City the game with a save. Heung-min Son through one-on-one, and Pep Guardiola, an iconic moment, flat on his back on the floor, frustrated. Erling Haaland and Mateo Kovacic on the bench for Joško Gvardiol. There's another City player, I think it could be Ruben Diaz or Bernardo Silva, messing around with a seat there, having a bit of laugh with the City players. I'm excited to see Nunes on the left against this derby. Yeah, he's played 2 good games off the left, hasn't he, Mateus Nunes? So hopefully he does it again. This is his chance to shine now. I mean, Grealish is supposed to be back after the international break, says Pep Guardiola. Doku's going to be out longer. But Nunes could really sort of cement himself on that left-hand side with top performances. If you can keep them up, it's not so easy, is it? They've got a good back line, Tottenham, I have to say. I mean, I know they haven't particularly played amazingly well, maybe. But, I mean, defensively poor. Newcastle are 2-0 up now, by the way, at Chelsea. Or against Chelsea. It's an own goal from, I think, Axel Disasi. It looks like Chelsea are going out. But yeah, I mean, Romero, captain, a big strong centre-back. Dragusin is a strong centre-back as well. Mickey Van de Ven, strong and ridiculously quick. Archie Gray, I assume, is going to sort of drift into central areas. And Spurs sort of build up in a back three with Archie Gray playing a sort of false fullback role for Ange today. Dominic Solanke is a real powerful centre-forward. Werner and Brennan Johnson, wiry sort of wingers. Quick, skillful. Like to sort of get that ball with that right foot and cut inside on the strong foot. Get shots away. Bentancur keeps things ticking out midfield. Papa Sarr, who's a real sort of mobile midfielder, box to box, end to end, a real goal threat as well. Then you got Dejan Kulusevski, who's a very creative player, comfortable out wide, but he's now finding his form more in a central area for Spurs. They've got the likes of Pedro Porro, Ben Davies, Bissouma, Forster, Richarlison, Maddison, Doggy, Lucas Bergerveld, and Mikey Moore on the bench. Spurs, so plenty of options that Tottenham Hotspur can look to as well if game changes. Definitely sort of Mikey Moore, who James Maddison described from the Europa League game or Conference League game. It was like having Neymar on the left wing. That's how Maddison said it, because he played so well. It's good to see Joško Gvardiol get a rest. So Nathan Ake comes in for only his second game of the season. Second start of the season. Started that game at home, didn't he? Ilkay Gundogan alongside Nico O'Reilly, a young midfielder who's got a real physicality to him, Nico O'Reilly. And that's something Pep Guardiola actually singled out, didn't he? And he thought was a key part of Nico O'Reilly's game. He says when you look at the players that come through City's youth system, they tend to be more smaller technical players, the likes of Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob, but Nico O'Reilly's got something different. He's a very big lad. He's physical. I'm sure he'll come into his stature as well, maybe put on a bit more muscle mass, and that will make him a really powerful midfielder. City have got 3 exciting youngsters on the bench here today. Fahad Alpha Ruprecht, the German winger. There's Jemai Simpson-Persay, who's actually the captain of the under-21 side, and also Jacob Wright as well. A metronome, you could describe him in that midfield, knocking the ball from side to side. City have described him as our very own Mank Jorginho. Jorginho at Napoli, not the Jorginho we saw at Chelsea or Arsenal, because either of those haven't been quite good. Big chance for Archie Gray to impress the Spurs. Speaking of young players, he is at right back today. He played a lot of the promotion campaign for Leeds, or the failed promotion campaign for Leeds at right back. And he's more of a midfielder naturally, but he can play there. Akanji injured, apparently, says Damon Footy Vlogs. Well, that would be bad news, Damon. Another injury for City's side would be bad. And Manu Akanji's in the starting 11, isn't he? Or has Manu Akanji dropped out the starting 11? Manu Akanji injured during the warm-up? Well, I haven't seen that. Thank you for the update, Damon Footy Vlogs. I've not checked social media. I didn't know that. So I assume Ruben Diaz comes on for Manu Akanji then. So Akanji injured in the warm-up. Another injury for Manchester City. That is bad news, isn't it? That is massively bad news for Manchester City. So no Manu Akanji now. Injured in the warm-up. Thank you very much for Damien's Footy Vlog. So no Akanji. That's a big miss. And so Ruben Diaz does come in for Manchester City. Another injury in this City side as the injuries continue to mount up. The players are on the field ready for kickoff. We're kicked off by Dominic Solanke. And we're underway here. So another injury for Manchester City, this time in the back line with Manu Akanji. What a big shame that is. Okay. So Akanji has been injured, guys. Yeah, that is confirmed. And in the starting 11 is Ruben Diaz. Long ball forward by Spurs. Werner with a poor touch and taken away by Savinho. He makes a run down this right-hand side of Foray as he nutmegs Mickey van der Ven. Still going here, Savinho eventually. He's cut out. Yeah, it is true. Diaz is in there. Manu Akanji out. That is a big miss for City. Another injury for City as Dominic Solanke gets in the attack here. He gets wrong side of John Stones, who does really well to get his foot in there. Away towards Rico O'Reilly. Rico Lewis back towards John Stones. And City confidently work it around the back line here. Big switch of play straight to Spurs into Archie Gray on this far right hand side. Gray chased by Mateus Nunes. Gray near the corner flag here. Plays it back out to Bentancur. Kulusevski tries to take it on the turn. Footing by Ilkay Gundogan. Kulusevski in the box. Quick feet from the Swede. Dejan Kulusevski. Under big pressure from Ilkay Gundogan here. He spun Gundogan. Brilliant from Kulusevski. Throws himself to the ground. Absolutely nothing in it. Gundogan tells him to get up and referee ignores it as well. Gundogan. And a big switch of play towards Savinho. Takes a nice touch. Savinho goes inside. Under pressure from Sarr. He's kicked here, Savinho, by Sarr. And it's a free kick to Manchester City. And Kulusevski here. I thought he was going to get a talking to here. There's no foul. Ilkay Gundogan and Kulusevski. It is a certain dive from the Swede. And City are up the other end now with Mateus Nunes. Back to Nathan Ake. But what a big miss that could be for City. No Manu Akanji. Nunes against Archie Gray. Back towards Nathan Ake once again. I will update the team sheet when I get a chance to bring Diaz in there for Akanji. At the moment, let's concentrate on the commentary. Savinho. Onto Nico O'Reilly, back to Savinho into Rico Lewis. Rico with a big switch of play out to Mateus Nunes. A nice ball by Rico Lewis. Here's Mateus Nunes one-on-one with Archie Gray. McAtee in support. James McAtee back out to Nunes. Mateus. Ake. Back to Nunes again. Rico Lewis has got his arms spread at the edge of the box here. He wants the ball. He's not been given it. Diaz. And Mateus Nunes goes all the way back here. Across the halfway line. To Manchester City's goalkeeper Stefan Ortega, who stood deep in the Spurs half nearly, it felt like there. He was very high out of his net. John Stone under pressure from Solanke. He might get caught out here. Stones, he gets away with it. Solanke ready to pounce behind him. Gundogan's lost a lot of pace since 2023. Selfie Lively. More than a lot. He's absolutely... He's like he's running with concrete in his boots at times, Ilkay Gundogan. Nowhere near the same player. Foden. Wide left to Mateus Nunes. Keeps it in play on the edge of the right foot. It is Phil Foden at false 9 and McAtee in behind him. Ake. Nunes. He goes back towards Diaz. He's under pressure from Dominic Solanke. Onto John Stones. But Spurs do pressing numbers with aggression, with intensity. MK is here. Welcome, MK. Rico Lewis wide towards Mateus Nunes. McAtee making a running behind. Nunes decides against it. He switches the play towards Savinho. It's a great ball. Savinho cuts inside. Savinho. Oh, a little nutmeg by Savinho on Kulusevski. Absolutely brilliant by Savinho. Gundogan. McAtee. Foden. Wide to Nunes again. City dominating so far. Nunes across the box here. O'Reilly misses it. What a chance for City. Nico O'Reilly should have opened the score in there. Timo Werner brings it away, but what a chance for City at the start of this one. Counter Spurs. Solanke pings one in behind towards Brennan Johnson. It's massively overhit. Ake chases it. And it's going to go all the way out for a Manchester City throw-in on the far left-hand side. But great play by City. McAtee on the edge of the box to Foden. Into Nunes. Left-footed ball across the box. And Nico O'Reilly is just behind the young man. A yard further forward, and it looks like he scores there. Throwing Manchester City. Nathan Ake to take it. Pep Guardiola showing that face in Nico O'Reilly starting again today. Well, Arsenal pressed him. And I think it's 2-0 to Arsenal now. It is Ethan Nwaneri with an absolute screamer, bending one in from the edge of the box on the left foot. Brilliant goal from Nwaneri. Romero in towards Archie Gray. Nice touch away from Nunes and back to Cuti Romero. Back into Romanian centre-back Dragusin, who turned down a move to Bayern Munich to move to Spurs. Since then, hasn't really been involved, and his agent has spoke out about not getting enough game time. Dragusin. Back towards Vicario. Short to Romero to the right of him. They work it to the full-back on the right-hand side, Archie Gray. Down the line towards Brennan Johnson, who flicks it on brilliantly away from Diaz and into Kulusevski. And Spurs are 3-on-2 here. And Rico Lewis not marking. Timo Werner at the far post. And it's terrible defending by Rico Lewis. And he's done it again. And Spurs open the score here. Brilliant finish by Werner. Terrible defending by Rico Lewis. But we saw him do it at Wolves and we've seen him do it again today. City caught in the transition. Diaz out of position. Ilkay Gundogan, Gundogan can't run. He's no chance catching Kulusevski. He rolls it to the far post. It's so similar to the goal we saw Wolves score against Manchester City the other week. Rolls it to the far post. Rico Lewis is sleeping. And Timo Werner. Great finish by Werner to give Spurs the lead here. What a bad start by City. Really poor defending from Rico Lewis. But not only Rico, but he's out of position again in that right back spot. He's done it before, and it feels like a very much an identical goal we saw City concede against Wolves. Stones and Lewis on that right hand side not defending the opportunity. City getting caught on the left hand side, and it's happened again here. And Spurs are on course to knock City out the Carabao Cup here. A goal from Timo Werner. Stefan Ortega forward. A kick in the face of James McAtee by Bentancur. The yellow card surely coming out here for the Uruguayan, who catches James McAtee in the side of the face. It's not even a yellow card for Rodrigo Bentancur. Not even a yellow card here. Studs up, kicks McAtee in the side of the face, no yellow card. Alfie says we play far too high up the pitch. Well, we certainly do, Alfie, with the back line we've got. I mean, Ake is not particularly quick. Stones certainly isn't. Rico Lewis isn't. And Diaz is the slowest of the lot. And City caught out there with his high line. Caught out massively. And Man United is 2-1 against Leicester. Bruno Fernandes has scored a free kick here. And now a foul on Rico Lewis. A deflected free kick. Lewis is okay. He's back on his feet. But United 2-1 up against Leicester City. And Rico Lewis really limping away here. Papa Sarr studs on the foot of Rico Lewis. A nasty one by Sarr. And you think the yellow card had come out for that one. But Lewis is struggling here. Really struggling. Ake. McAtee. Nunes. Back into Ilkay Gundogan. And Ake back towards Diaz. On to Stefan Ortega. No pass for Ortega. He's given it away to Sarr and gives it away to Spurs. Here's Mickey Van der Ven. Ilkay Gundogan wins it back for his side. Foden can't win it, and Spurs get it back again. Well played, Tottenham Hotspur. Well, 5 games, 5 wins when conceding first this season so far for City. We do tend to concede first, and we have again today. Here's Dragusin. Fahad is here. Hello to Fahad. Alfie says Leicester are shocking. They're not very good, are they? But they beat Southampton. They got 3 goals against Southampton. City only managed to get 1. Poor start for City, says Fahad, certainly. Should have done so much better. Pep Guardiola looks on. It's a little bit confused his side performance so far. City running back with high pressing. McAtee in towards Savinho. Foden. Foden lays it across towards Matheus Nunes here. No runners, Nunes. Back out to Gundogan. City should have pounced upon an opportunity there, but they don't do. Ake, Nunes. Well, City had a good chance there. The killer ball just didn't seem there. Diaz, Stones. John Stones to City, dribbling his way, slaloming his way through the Spurs midfield. Ake. In behind towards Mateus Nunes. Cross to him is Romero. Back out to Ake by Nunes. Back on towards Ruben Diaz. John Stones. Wide towards Savinho. Back out they go towards Rico Lewis. Well, United are 4-1 up against Leicester now. They were 2-1 up about 3 seconds ago, and now they're 4-1 up. What's going on? Alfie says King KDB. We're missing him, aren't we? We're missing King Kevin De Bruyne. His final ball is something City lack, and I've never thought Foden's a particularly creative player. He seems like a lot much better of a finisher. Savinho here. Smashed into by Kulusevski. Free kick to City. Savinho gets back to his feet and runs away. Pep Guardiola wants Savinho to do something else here. John Stones as well, he's given a bit of a talking to. After a poor start, like Fahad said. Gundogan into Rico Lewis. Poor touch by Rico, and he gives it away, but wasn't a spectacularly good pass by Ilkay Gundogan either. Werner. Come on, City, says Alfie. And here's Savinho. Skips inside here. Savinho into McAtee, who's too slow to react. Nunes and Archie Gray with a fantastic sliding challenge. And he gets Spurs in the counter here. And here's Dejan Kulusevski. He rolls it into Solanke. He didn't even know the ball was coming to him. Diaz got hold of Solanke here. Kicked by McAtee. Diaz fighting, can't get there. I have no idea why it's gone green to Alfie. Well, I think it's because maybe at this moment right now you've just become a member for 17 months, perhaps. Savinho. Sprints at Van de Ven here. Van de Ven with a sliding challenge on Savinho. It's a throw into Manchester City. And he's holding a hamstring here, Mickey Van de Ven. Could he have just caused a problem for himself? Possibly. Mickey Van de Ven is keeping a good hold of his right hamstring. Sliding challenge there might have just been a bad decision on Savinho. It was silly. He didn't need to go sliding on Savinho, really. He could have caught him easy. Diaz, McAtee, turns a little pocket of space. Nice right-footed first-time pass out wide towards Mateus Nunes. Ake. Ball in behind to McAtee. Good run from McAtee, but the ball from Ake, the way to pass is poor. And Mickey Van de Ven has done the hamstring here. And down he goes. Well, I wouldn't like to wish injury on anyone, Alfie. But I would admit that it'd be nice if Van de Ven wasn't on the field. Savinho skips past him. Van de Ven goes to the sliding challenge. And he's just done the hamstring, it looks like. We'll have to see. He stretched him for a sliding challenge on Savinho. It didn't seem necessary. But it might have just taken Mickey Van de Ven out of the game, that. The Spurs fans like that sliding challenge, but they might not because Van de Ven seems to have self-inflicted a hamstring injury on himself here. He's receiving treatment now. I think he has a history of hamstring injuries, doesn't he, Mickey Van de Ven? He's very quick for a big man, very powerful runner. And that is one of the issues that comes with, I suppose, that trait. And it looks like Van de Ven is going to come off here. Kulusevski switching the play. Rico Lewis sliding in, trying to get there. But Destiny Doggy is going to come on here for Mickey Van de Ven. So let's see how he does against Savinho. A different player for Savinho to come against. Not as physical, not as strong, but still, I mean, not far off, to be fair. Destiny Doggy is a top quality player. Top quality player. And Vicky Van de Ven looks very, very unhappy here. And off he comes. I think it was a silly challenge of Van de Ven to make there. I don't think he had to go sliding in. I don't think he had to go sliding in like that. And a rather upset Mickey Van de Ven is coming off here. I mean, City have picked up injury in the warm-up through Manu Akanji. But he looks very upset, Mickey Van de Ven. Which suggests to me that might be quite a bad hamstring injury. Bissouma chasing down a tunnel, but it seems like Mickey Van de Ven might have quite a problem. Destiny Doggy is on. If Rodgers didn't get injured, do you think he should have won the Ballon d'Or for next year as well, says Alfie? I don't know, because I wouldn't have seen how he's performed, and I haven't seen how he's performed. He's only played like one game this season, hasn't he? that he came on against Arsenal again, so I couldn't really call that. It's way too early to see who would win the Ballon d'Or next year. Nunez with a poor attempt at a back heel flick to McAtee, and it's out for throwing to Spurs on that far side. But City do look very vulnerable defensively here. And Spurs making the use of that. With Vicario. Nice clip into Archie Gray, the fullback. Gray in the turn here. Only 18 years of age, Archie Gray. And he plays the ball in behind to Solanke. It's a good ball. Stefan Ortega comes for it. Ortega beats him to it. And just waiting for the ball. A little delay for Ortega to pick it up in his own box. You thought for a second there he might get caught out. Diaz. In towards Ake. Ilkay Gundogan. Little touch inside Gundogan and then into John Stones. Gundogan's give it straight back to Spurs here with a terrible pass. And Werner's in again here and he hits the shot straight at Ortega. But what is Ilkay Gundogan doing there? Really poor from City's captain. And City try to launch a quick counter-attack. Give it straight back to Spurs. Who do you think we need as a player, says Alfie? Ooh. City need, I think, a creative midfielder. Because outside of Foden, I think we need someone who's a goal scorer. And I think we need a holding midfielder as well. I think the midfield needs a revamp in the summer. Whether that happens or not, I'm not quite sure. I have a feeling that Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan will not be Manchester City players next summer. I think both of those will go. Oh, Vicario pulling out on the edge of his box here to Bentancur under pressure from Nico O'Reilly. Dragusin gives it away towards Savinho. Dragusin wins it back after a heavy Savinho touch. Plays it forward again. Then off Pape Sarr. Now for a throw in for City, but two poor passes by Dragusin there. Fired it into his teammates who were unable to control it. I mean, maybe City are looking at a centre-back for next summer. Considering, we concede too many goals, really. Just too many injuries, says Derp. Yeah, that's not helping either, but we have a small squad, but that's what we always ask for. Pep Guardiola prefers a small squad. Poor pass by City again. Savinho's pass is intercepted by Destiny Udogie, and he drives forward now, the fullback. Wide left towards Timo Werner, who's offside, Timo Werner. And it is a free kick to City. That's poor from Werner. I mean, he's looking right along the line. Alfie said he'd get someone like Richie or Guimaraes or someone like that in a fullback. Yeah, I mean, a backup left back to Vardiel would be a good idea. I think that is something maybe we'll be looking at. I don't know. I think this change is coming in the summer. And I personally think Pep stays one more year. And then I think big changes are coming to this side. New manager, new ideas, a new squad, really. I do think there'll be a big refresh in that summer. Even some of the key players, I think they might decide to let them go and move on. I genuinely do. Rico Lewis. O'Reilly back towards John Stones. And I'll be honest with you, I did expect the man to take over from Pep Guardiola to be Ruben Amorim. I expected him to leave at the end of his contract, 2026. But he's on his way to Manchester United now, it looks like. Pretty much going to be confirmed. So who's the new City manager? Many people saying Xabi Alonso of Leverkusen. I'm sure City would like him. But I'm pretty certain he ends up at Real Madrid at the end of this season with Carlo Ancelotti leaving. So I am very uncertain he'll be the new City manager. I do think they're going to be in big trouble, City, when Pep Guardiola goes. But that's expected. McAtee. Little turn on Brennan Johnson. Ake. Gundogan. Do we think we'll sign anyone in January, says Alfie? Probably not. To be honest with you, probably not. Gundogan. Wide left to McAtee. McAtee with his head up here. Options. McAtee. Ball in towards Phil Foden. It's a poor one. Intercepted by Dragusin. Sarr. Chased by McAtee. Dragusin again. We need big changes. Some new players come January, says Fahad. Well, I think you're all going to be disappointed. I can't see us sign anyone in January. We never tend to, even if we need to. Here's Dragusin. Sarr. Sarr across to Romero. So far, Manchester City. We haven't been involved in the game enough. I don't think. To, involved in the game in the sense of scoring goals and so on. We really should be doing better in those areas of the game, but we haven't done. We've conceded a poor goal a game. And we'll have to see. Bernardo Silva is warming up for Manchester City here. So perhaps we see Bernardo come on. I'm not sure if City have got a problem. But Nico O'Reilly is the man who's down. In my career mode, I signed Ikenna as a backup to Haaland. He's really good. I mean, he's only 16, 17 years of age, isn't he, Alfie? I think he needs game time, though, at his stage of his career. Well, it looks like Bernardo Silva could be coming on. It could be another injury for Manchester City. We've already got an injury with Akanji coming off before the game even kicked off. And it looks like Nico O'Reilly could be coming off as well. Is he going to stay on the field there, Nico O'Reilly? I think he's okay, the young man. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. United looked to the manager we wanted and signed him, says Derp. Yeah, I mean, it's not worked out before for United, though, has it? Liverpool have taken the lead, by the way, against Brighton, a goal from Cody Gakpo. But it's not worked out for United before that. They signed Maguire, Sanchez, Fred. There's plenty of players they've signed. Well, Pep Guardiola is motivating Nico O'Reilly. It looks like he's going to be okay to come back on. But that'd be another injury for Manchester City, with the injury issues just mounting up. Long ball at the top here. Rico Lewis out of position. And they found Timo Werner in this wide left-hand channel. Werner in towards Papa Sarr. The doggy. Sarr once again. Spurs play down this left-hand side. Good play. Timo Werner. Back in behind to a doggy. Flicks off the studs of Rico Lewis trying to cut it out. He doesn't get it out for a throw-in. Goes behind for a corner for Spurs. Another bit of defending to do for Manchester City. It looks like Timo Werner is going to take this set piece. O'Reilly's back on. And he seems okay. Seems okay for now. Corner ball Spurs. Dragusin, Solanke, Romero all in there. Werner plays it short. Bentancur around the corner. Chance for Kulusevski, who gets right underneath it on the edge of the box. It sort of bubbles up just before the Swede hits it. And in the end, he shanks it up and wide and into Rowe's head, it feels like. It was a bit like the Bournemouth goal against Arsenal, if you saw that. Really well worked set piece. Ortega wide to Stones. Rico Lewis. Rico into Phil Foden, who chests it down very comfortably and brilliantly under pressure to Gundogan. It works onto Nathan Ake and wide to Mateus Nunes, who's got that pace and power to run at the opposition. Nunes against Archie Gray. Nunes, two come across to him. He pulls it back towards Nathan Ake. Ake. Nunes in behind to Nathan Ake. Looking to cross it, tackled by Bentancur. And they give a goal kick. And Nathan Ake looks like he's injured himself here. Another injury. Goes to cross it, Ake. It's a clash of knees with Bentancur. Ake ends up on the deck. And Spurs end with a goal kick. Would you have Kompany back as manager, Selfie? No. No way would I have Vincent Kompany as a City manager. Because I'd feel terrible to say if he'd done wrong. Here's Rico Lewis. One-on-one with Timo Werner. Werner still. Lewis stays with him. Werner crosses it. Stones blocks it away. He's having a tough night at the moment, Rico Lewis. Savinho. Skips inside. Savinho smashed into by Sarr for the second time. The referee says that's 3 tackles by Sarr. And he gets the yellow card in the midfielder. The referee had already told him. The next one's a yellow card. Kulusevski takes a bite out of Savinho. Sarr dives in and takes him down. I mean, pulls his leg away and then puts his arms either side like he didn't touch Savinho when it's been so obvious he's took him out. And the midfielder gets booked here. Rico Lewis to take a free kick. He goes all the way back towards Ruben Diaz. Ake. Right to Nunes under pressure from Archie Gray. Nunes still. Back he goes to Ake, but Nunes has not been so lively today on that left-hand side. Savinho, glimpses of quality, but only glimpses. Ortega forward to Savinho. And across comes Dragusin, and he heads it behind for a throw-in. Nice ball out, though, by Ortega. Playing City out of a troubling area. The Spurs press is very high. I think we need more pace in the wide areas. Someone's going to get in behind. Marco Rose, because Leipzig got a lot of clean sheets. A joint top with Bayern Selfie. Yeah, Marco Rose, he did very well at Leipzig so far. He did well at Gladbach before that. He was very poor at Dortmund in the end. So, you know, hit and miss. We should have signed someone in the summer. What position? A holding midfielder? Left back? Backup striker? A winger? I don't know. I think losing Alvarez has been a big depletion of the squad, really. Because it means Haaland has to play 90 minutes week in, week out. We can't even take him off for 10 minutes at the end of the game. Bring on Alvarez, who'll run for the club and, you know, try and score goals. Alvarez is not playing very well at the moment anyway. Aletti, he's frustrating them as City give the ball away here. Here's Brennan Johnson in behind to Timo Werner. Werner in behind, blocked by Diaz. Behind for a corner, City in trouble again. Corner ball. I think Spurs sense that City are there for the taking today, and it feels like it a little bit. Ball in behind to Timo Werner, cross the blocks, blocked by Diaz, but it does result in another corner for Spurs and another chance, perhaps working a set piece as Kulusevski goes short to Werner. Back onto Kulusevski, edge of the box to Sarr. First time strike on the right foot! What a goal by Sarr, 2-0 Spurs. Brilliant finish from Sarr. City is being smashed here. 2-0 to Spurs. Crap from City. Poor from Stefan Ortega, the goalkeeper, who's beaten at his near post from the edge of the box. A well-worked set piece that Manchester City is sleeping on. And Spurs make it 2. Kulusevski short to Werner, back onto Kulusevski. No one marking the edge of the box. On to Sarr. Strikes it. Curls it into the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner for Stefan Ortega. Should do so much better. Poor defending from City. Poor goalkeeping from Ortega. And Manchester City find themselves 2 goals behind. And I think that is game over for Manchester City. 2-0 down. They're not coming back from there. They are not coming back from this, Manchester City. 2-0 down to Spurs. And they've been terrible defensively. And that might be game, set and match. And Pep Guardiola doesn't seem too bothered, to be honest with you. Nunez into Gundogan, who's lost out physically to Kulusevski. Here's Solanke. Solanke shoots here, blocked by John Stones. Back out to Brennan Johnson, it's Stefan Ortega. But Ilkay Gundogan, he looks like a pensioner in that midfield. Getting pulled and torn apart everywhere. Really struggling, Ilkay Gundogan. Really, really struggling with the physicality of the game. Ilkay Gundogan, the running power. Just nothing at all. Ilkay Gundogan looks so many yards off the pace. It's so bad. The pressing from City is so poor. Ball forward here, taken down by Kulusevski on the arm of the Swede. Very clear. Very clear handball. Well, I think City are being ready to go out with this competition. They knew they were going out anyway, really. Nunez. Back to Ake. Ilkay Gundogan. Nathan Ake and back in towards Vardiel. Stones. Can City pull a goal back to try and get himself a bit of a lifeline in today's game? Mateus Nunes. Rico Lewis on the turn here. Rico, good take. Lewis. It's better for us because the schedule is so full. We have too many injuries as dirt. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the squad to compete in 4 competitions. Without a doubt, we don't. Gundogan, Rico Lewis. Into Phil Foden. Poor first touch, but he makes up with the second one. Gets it back to Diaz. Wide to Mateus Nunes. He's got to get a run at Archie Gray here, Nunes. City have got to try and create something now. Nunes at Archie Gray. Skips one way, then the other. Brennan Johnson helps out. Nunes on the turn here. Physically outdoes him. Cross into the box here. Dragashin flicks it away. Positive from Nunes, though. Ake. Smashed into. Lost his footing. Referee says no foul. Spurs slice it away. Behind for a throw-in for City. Diaz to take this one. He's taking his time. Well, so far in this match, Spurs have had 6 shots to City's 0. 4 shots on target for City's 0. 6 touches in the opponent's box to City's 3. However, we've had 67% possession, the stat that doesn't work. Thought I'd join in my... Can't get my Sky to work. Well, unlucky, Joel. You're not missing much. City are 2-0 down and getting battered here. Long ball by City over. Savinho can't get there. Manchester City 2-0 down. In a bad position, really. John Stones, Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly wide right to Savinho. It's over hit. Again, and out for a throw-in by City. Well, City have been really poor here. I mean, if I was Pep Guardiola, I'd look at putting the younger players in the field without a doubt. Get Jacob Wright in there, Simpson per se, and get Alpha Ruprecht on as well. Just get those players on. And give them a chance. Because the first team at the moment aren't doing it. O'Reilly, Stones, Gundogan. I have to say Ilkay Gundogan. Looks a shadow of his former self, unfortunately. Ake. Nunes. Nunes here running the opposition again. Holds off Brennan Johnson. Nunes. Taken down by Brennan Johnson. Free kick Manchester City. Matheus Nunes fouled by behind by the Welshman. We thought otherwise. Referee gives Manchester City a free kick. He's up against two, Matheus Nunes. No support really at all from any other player. Takes the leg of him. Does Brennan Johnson, free kick City. But Matheus Nunes and Savinho have probably been the most lively players so far for City. Free kick in a good position. Ilkay Gundogan is over it. I think Ilkay Gundogan really needs to sort of adapt his game in some way. Because he's not the player he once was. He needs to play a different way. He really does, because his age is showing massively. Free kick Manchester City. It's sort of like in a corner position in that sense. On the far side of the box. It's like a very close corner. City with bodies in there. Spurs are very big. Got Foden on the edge of the box here, who seems like the target to aim for if I was City. Straight to Foden. Back of the net. Gundogan. Absolutely terrible from Ilkay Gundogan, whose free kick goes behind for a goal kick. Terrible free kick from Ilkay Gundogan. Absolutely terrible. Straight out for a goal kick. Bentancur forward here. Johnson onto Solanke. Brilliant from Spurs. Johnson. Gundogan just gets in there to win it back for City. Only just. But he does win it back, and he had to there. Ake. Well, I think the physicality, the energy, the athleticism of the Spurs side compared to the City side is pretty clear to see here. And that seems to be one of our big issues. Well, this is going well, says Chris. Absolutely the opposite, isn't it? I mean, the athleticism of the City side, I feel, is showing through the problem. I mean, in midfield, Ilkay Gundogan, the guy can't run. He just cannot run. He needs someone next to him who's an all-action midfielder, really. Nunes here for City. Nunes, great spin by Nunes. Nunes still going here. Nunes then taken down by Sarr, who's taking him down. Who's already in a yellow card, Sarr. Nunes doing everything he can to try and change the game for City. He switches the play out wide right to Savinho. Takes it away from Timo Werner. Savinho. Savinho still. On to Phil Foden. Goes backwards when he's got to go to the far side, Foden. Negative play from Foden. Stones. O'Reilly. Rico Lewis. Ilkay Gundogan. Ruben Diaz. Wide left to Nathan Ake. On to Nunes, who City are sort of going to and now and expecting to try and make something happen. Nunes with the ball and behind to McAtee. Tackle by Romero. Behind for a throw into City. Was the best of balls by Nunes. McAtee, difficult to make anything of it. Throwing for City on the far left-hand side. Everything's going through Nunes at the moment. He's the only City player, alongside Savinho, who's trying to make something happen. Nunes. Ake. Back to Matheus Nunes. Good ball to Foden. Foden through to McAtee. Poor pass by Foden. Picks it back up Foden. Then lose it to Sarr. And Spurs counter again here. Bentancur. Ball behind to Kulusevski. Foot race with John Stones. Stefan Ortega. Sweeper keeper off his line quickly. And he puts it behind for a throw in to Spurs over the halfway line. But Manchester City lacking massively here. Romero back towards Vicario. To his left-hand side to Dragusin. Sarr here under pressure from O'Reilly. Got to go back towards the goalkeeper, Sarr. Goes across his own backs to Romero. It's a good pass, but under pressure from Matheus Nunes. Romero has to flick it behind for a throw-in. But Archie Gray, brilliant from the youngster, keeps it in. Sliding challenge on Nunes. Fouls him. Gundogan loses out to Romero. Good challenge by Romero on Ilkay Gundogan with a terrible touch. McAtee sliding on Kulusevski, wins it back for City. McAtee. Nunes. Back out to O'Reilly. Phil Foden. Late on by Kulusevski on Phil Foden. Free kick Manchester City. Kulusevski doesn't even complain yet. He knows that he's putting a late challenge on Phil Foden. And he knows it should be a free kick, and it is. But I mean, if İlkay Gundogan's taking this for City, judging by his last set-piece attempt, it's going right behind for a goal kick. Very late one by Kulusevski on Phil Foden. Kulusevski apologises. Free kick Manchester City. But I'm not filled with confidence by the City performance at all. Foden and İlkay Gundogan stand over this one. It's much too far out, this free kick to shoot. Much too far out to shoot. But they might try it anyway. Foden and Gundogan over it. Phil Foden clips one into the far post. Headed away by Spurs. Terrible ball by Foden. The Spurs bring it away. Sarr. A doggy. John Stones forgets the ball again. Here's Kulusevski running at Rico Lewis, who makes a sliding challenge. Pep Guardiola with a high five for Rico Lewis. He was unhappy with John Stones. Very unhappy with Stones there. Rico Lewis made the sliding challenge. Pep Guardiola trying to get his City side to get out and get on top of Spurs here, but City don't seem so, I don't know, up for this game. Dragashin. A doggy. Pressured by Savinho. Lewis dives in. Great flip by Kulusevski back onto a doggy, who's pulled back by Rico Lewis. A doggy with the ball in towards Solanke. Intercepted by İlkay Gundogan. There's Nico O'Reilly. Wide to James McAtee. We've got to get Núñez running here. I think Núñez, you know, making those powerful runs at the moment. Seems like City's way through. We can't find him when he's not got two Spurs players on him. Gundogan. McAtee. On to Núñez. There's a chance for Núñez here. And he runs at Archie Gray. And he absolutely burns Archie Gray for pace. Núñez across the box to Foden, who's missed the tapping. Should have been 2-1 there. Savinho straight out to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis back to Foden. Phil Foden hits one, blocked away. And behind for a goal kick. Manchester City should do better there. Well, Archie Gray, young 18-year-old, up against Matheus Núñez, who's so quick. Just knocks it past Archie Gray and he's off. Fires it across the box, but Phil Foden's not there. He's too slow to get on the end of it. Who is this new guy who must have just signed this month? Núñez, says Chris. Yeah, we've not seen him, have we, at all? He's quite good. And surprisingly, I'd say he's the best player on the field at the moment for City in these opening 37 minutes. Maybe by far the best player in the field for City. Alongside maybe Savinho. But he's put it on a plate there for Phil Foden. He doesn't react quick enough, I don't think, to get in there and score the tap-in. Archie Gray. Brennan Johnson lets it out of play. It's a throw-in for City, who started to grow into the game, City. We're growing into the game and still not working. İlkay Gundogan. Rico Lewis centrally again. Lewis, big switch of play to Savinho. Good touch in the chest by the Brazilian, Savinho. In behind to Nico O'Reilly, great ball, O'Reilly's there. Holds off Dragashin, back out to Savinho. Thought he might have got a shot off there, O'Reilly, but he couldn't do. Savinho. Lewis. John Stones, his space for Ake on the far side. He goes across to him. Then on to Matheus Núñez here. Brennan Johnson helps out. Núñez against Gray. He knows he's got Gray if he can try and beat him. Ake. Núñez once again. In behind to McAtee. McAtee. Ball into the box. It's a great ball. A doggy heads it away. Here's Savinho and Timo Werner wins it back as a counter for Spurs. Werner. Great pace by Timo Werner away from Savinho. Wide to Kulusevski. It's a terrible pass by Timo Werner. Terrible pass by Werner after really good work. Well, the Carabao Cup could be Spurs' only chance at a title this season, or a trophy of any sorts. And Manchester City, at the moment, are giving him an easy ride to the final. In this game, anyway. Núñez against Romero, and Bentancur comes in and takes it off his feet. Romero keeps it in, the captain. Down the line, straight towards McAtee. Back towards Núñez. Into İlkay Gundogan. Can City create something here? Gundogan. Rico Lewis. Wide right to Savinho. Against the doggy. Savinho tries to bend one here. Gets it all wrong, Savinho. Vicario dives as if it was close. It wasn't. It was well wide of the post by Savinho. Tries to use a doggy as a marker to sort of bend it round him. In the end, he bends it far wide. Sarr under pressure here from Nico O'Reilly, who can't win it. A doggy with a heavy touch gives it back to Manchester City. Rico Lewis. John Stones, and City start again here. Stones. Rico. O'Reilly. Stones. Good play by City. That's nicely done. But it's what we do from there. The decision making. City working those little triangles and don't find a pass. Into James McAtee here. Onto Phil Foden. Foden misjudges it. Gundogan's in there to get it for City with a heavy touch. Romero lumps it away on as far as Rico Lewis, who turns backwards. Rico forward. Rico Lewis looks absolutely shattered here. He's got his hands and he hits time and time again. Savinho the ball in behind towards McAtee. McAtee's there. Pressure on him by Romero. McAtee holds him off. Romero goes and wins it back, and here's a doggy. Slams it forward off Rico Lewis into John Stones. Lewis. I suspect Rico Lewis will be coming off half time. He looks completely done. He looks so tired. Nunes. Onto Ake and the overlap. Ake with a cross. It's off Archie Gray. Keeps it in. Only as far as Nunes. Against Kulusevski. Giving away towards Bentancur. Kulusevski in a front race with Ruben Diaz. And it's out for a throw-in, but I was pretty sure in that race City would lose it. Well, Spurs have made one pass. The last 15 passes into the final third. Spurs have made one. It's been all Manchester City otherwise. Last 10 or 15 we've been actually half decent as Chris. We have. But those two poor defensive moments have cost us, haven't they? And I also think Phil Foden should have scored to make it 2-1. Got City back in the game. O'Reilly. Good play by O'Reilly. Passed a few challenges. Great play by O'Reilly. Wide towards Matheus Nunes. Nicely done, Nico O'Reilly. Nunes. Ake. Back to Nunes again. Could have gone in behind to O'Reilly. Decides against it. Ake. Gundogan. Diaz. Stones. Should have passed it into McAtee. Decides against it. Gundogan. Ake. Spaces are opened up in the Spurs defence. Foden. Gundogan. O'Reilly. Good play from Nico. Onto Nunes. Could cross it. Decides against it. Nunes into O'Reilly here. O'Reilly. Poor touch and away by Bentancur. Diaz against Kulusevski in a foot race again. Diaz loses out to Kulusevski, but Diaz still manages to get it across and towards Stones. Lucky Diaz there a little bit. And Stones pings it out far right to Savinho. Lovely touch on the edge of the left foot. Savinho for City. Savinho onto McAtee. Back to Savinho. Savinho. Ball into Gundogan. Deflects back to Gundogan anyway. Solanke getting back. Ilkay. Taking his time here, Gundogan. Ake. Nunes once again. City are pushing it at the end of this first half. Nunes into Foden. Great ball. Foden the volley. And Phil Foden gets it wrong. Well, Matheus Nunes, credit to him, has been very, very creative today. And he's done it again. Lifts the ball into the box here in a great position to Phil Foden on the volley. And Foden, a bit of pressure on him. But he catches the volley all wrong. If he catches that just in any way decently, if he just catches it right, I'm sure he scores there. But he doesn't. And Nunes' pass is wasted. Sarr, under pressure from O'Reilly. Free kick Spurs. Foul by O'Reilly, who's putting the pressure on there and lucky not to win it on the edge of the box. Pep Guardiola looks unhappy at the moment with Juan Malio on the bench. Erling Haaland is talking with Scott Carson and Bernardo Silva. Long by Vicario. What happened to Foden, says Dirt? He's not been at it this season, has he? He started the season slow. He played very poorly in the Euros for England, I thought. A few glimpses of the Phil Foden we know. He started the season slow, then missed a lot of the season through injury. I don't know if he's just finding his feet again. And maybe he'll start hitting the stride we expect after January, like the City team do. But it is a little bit worried at the moment for Phil Foden. Vicario. The doggy. Good win by Rico Lewis. Trouble for the opposition here. Savinho. On towards McAtee. McAtee taken down here by Romero. It's going to be a yellow card, surely. Sliding challenge by Captain Romero. But City had to pounce on the opportunity there and they don't do. Spurs give it away. Overplay him. Lewis wins it back. Savinho in towards James McAtee. I don't know how Romero's claiming that isn't a foul. Slides in and takes the legs of James McAtee without a doubt. No touch on the ball at all. Free kick City, but I'm not confident. The better ball there would have been put through Foden. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Savinho picks it up. And he could go through to Foden. He goes in towards McAtee. City should have made more of that situation. Yes, they've got a free kick in a very good position. But I don't particularly trust Foden or Ilkay Gundogan to finish it. I really don't. And judging by Gundogan's start or restart to his return to Manchester City, I'm not confident at all this even gets on target. But I'd like to be wrong. I'll be honest, I'd like to be very wrong here. Corner ball. Corner ball, Manchester City. Well, free kick for Manchester City. Ilkay Gundogan aiming for the corner. Can he find the corner? That's what I was thinking of there. Gundogan and Foden over this one. Ilkay Gundogan or Phil Foden. Foden takes it. Foden hits it way over the wall. Way over the wall. Way over the wall by Phil Foden. It's terrible. Absolutely nowhere near. Nowhere near from Phil Foden. Maybe that's why Savinho didn't put the ball through to Foden, Chris. He's not confident in Foden scoring the goal. Because he's poor again there, Phil Foden. Vicario into Sarr. Heavy touch. Spurs played himself into trouble, but City not punishing them. Long by Vicario. Gundogan into Kulusevski. It falls to James McAtee. And he goes back to Nathan Ake. Should have gone back left to McAtee there. Ake goes inside and City have pushed himself into trouble here. Stones, Savinho. Oh, Savinho with a little nutmeg on a doggy. Brilliant. Then he pings the ball forward to Nunes. Absolutely spectacular play from Savinho to that right-hand side. Nunes against Archie Gray. Nunes. Gundogan. Gundogan hits it straight into a Spurs player. But absolutely spectacular from Savinho. He's got 4 or 5 players round him. You think he's going to be in trouble here. He's in big trouble. But no. A little nutmeg on Destiny, a doggy. And he gets himself into space and he pings one in behind towards Matheus Nunes. Nothing comes of it, but brilliant from Savinho on that right-hand side. Absolutely brilliant. Electric from City's Brazilian. Well, 4 added minutes here at the London Stadium. Suspect we won't see any goals in these 4 minutes for Manchester City. So 2-0 Spurs look like they're going to go in at half-time. John Stones to Manchester City. Stones brings it forward. Wide to Savinho again. At the moment, he's having a good game against the doggy, but unfortunately, it's the... You know, he can have a good game. Nunes had a good game as well, but it's that finishing ball that City are lacking. McAtee with a spin on Bentancur. Wide to Nunes, who miscontrols the ball, and it's out for a throw-in. That is the side to Nunes' game that I think will cost him his Manchester City career. He's very sloppy sometimes with the first touch. Very sloppy. We've just seen it there. We saw it in the home game in Southampton. Ake wins it back for City. Ake. A ball in behind. It's a terrible ball by Ake. Gives it straight back to Spurs. Romero has to lump it away, which he does. Diaz against Solanke. Diaz just puts Solanke on the floor here. The referee says no foul. Solanke is backing into him. Here's Rico Lewis. Rico. Over towards Ruben Diaz. He's forced into the starting 11 due to injury for Manu Akanji. Nunes. Ake. Ilkay Gundogan. Wide towards Matheus Nunes. Ake. Foden with a flick on the corner. McAtee is there. Romero intercepts it. McAtee could have hit it, but Romero just read it. McAtee pull out a challenge and Archie Gray long and away. Well, Spurs are happy to play like this on the counter. Manchester City hardly, creating a chance. Spurs trying to win it back high up the field and catch the mistake. But we're not causing them any problems. Gundogan. Nico O'Reilly turn. He does do. O'Reilly. Wide to Savinho. Against the doggy. Savinho. Savinho skips from the outside of him. Right-footed crossing. Here's a great cross. Matheus Nunes! And City pull one back. And it's that man again, Matheus Nunes. What an impact he is having for this club at the moment. Well, it's Savinho with absolutely electric feet. Step overs, takes it past the doggy, right-footed across the far post. And who is there but Matheus Nunes to Manchester City, and we pull one back. What a bit of play by Savinho. The two wingers have been the standout players. Matheus Nunes and Savinho, the two real top players today. Bowling by Savinho to the far post. Matheus Nunes, first time right-footed finish. He's all alone at the far post. Gray has followed the run of McAtee. And Nunes digs it into the floor, into the back of the net. Come on, City. City's been very good for the last 20 minutes and 30 here. That says Chris. Yeah, we've been very good since the 2 goals conceded. O'Reilly is a foul on Diaz by Kulusevski. And that is half-time. Manchester City pull one back. I didn't know Mahrez came back, says Derp. Savinho, Nunes, says Joel MC. Yeah, I mean, Nunes and Savinho in those wide areas have been the real standout players. And I tell you what, Matheus Nunes, he's starting to grow into being our starting left-hand player, isn't he? I think Savinho on the right and Nunes on the left might be the way Pep Guardiola is forced to go now, because it is working so well. And in a game where we didn't play particularly well, certainly have done in the latter stages of the half, but especially at the start, those two have been the bright spark and the bright light throughout the game. And imagine Nunes and Savinho in the wide areas with Haaland in the middle. I think that would be even more exciting for City. And maybe that would be 2-2 at half-time after some poor defensive situations. City's athleticism in the midfield, City's defensive mistakes, frailties have been an issue. But as at moments, it stands City 2-1 down to Spurs, but with a bit of a lifeline into the second half we go. I'm going to have a little break of a half-time as I always do, get myself a drink, get myself a snack, do the same as well. We'll be back in around 10 minutes or so for the second half, where hopefully we see Manchester City come away with maybe a 3-2 win. Get your bets on it. City could be on a comeback here, especially with 2 real exciting players in Nunes and Savinho in the side. We'll see you guys after this short break.
sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah.
Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poop, yo, biscuit tookin'. I'm not the type to go with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like, now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
Well, welcome back to second half. Manchester City versus Spurs. Manchester City have made changes at half-time, as have Tottenham Hotspur. Pape Sarr comes off in that midfield for Spurs. On comes Yves Bissouma. Manchester City taking off two players. It's Gundogan and Ruben Diaz off. Joško Vardiol and also Kovacic on. So no Gundogan, no Diaz anymore. I think Diaz maybe wasn't fit to start this game anyway. He comes off at half-time after being thrown in there for Vardiel. Nathan Ake goes into that position. And Kovacic on for Gundogan, a bit more of a runner because Gundogan, the game has completely passed him by today. Completely passed him by. The second half underway. And Vardiel long and forward here. Towards Mateus Nunes, who's got our most goal involvements of the month so far. Who's captain, says Purple? I have no idea currently. I think it's John Stones. I think John Stones has the captain's armband now for City. Stones wide to Mateus Nunes. Up against Archie Gray here. Nunes looking to make something happen here. He's been really good on that left-hand side. Nunes against Gray. Back out to Vardiel. Kovacic, Vardiel. I think City feel they could still go through here. Nunes. Back towards Kovacic. A switch of play into John Stones. Nicely done by City. Stones. Run his way through. Nunes. Kovacic. Lose the ball in a bad position. Nunes working really hard to get it back for City though. Well played, Nunes. Nunes. Fouled here by Bentancur. Spurs unhappy with it. Very unhappy with that decision. Very, very unhappy with that decision. But the referee says play on. Stones. Rico Lewis. Kovacic. Kovacic wide towards Savinho here. He's been one of our key attacking players. Savinho step over. Skill. Savinho crosses it. Falls to Nunes at the far post. He lets it bobble over his head, Nunes. Holds off Archie Gray. And he leaves it behind for a throw-in. And he slips on the way down, Mateus Nunes, who sees the funny side of that one as the Spurs fans laugh at him as well. Nunes to take the throw-in. Him and Vardiel share a good relationship, good friends with each other apparently. Vardiel back into Nunes. Down the outside of Archie Gray here, Nunes. Nunes back to McAtee. McAtee onto Foden. Oh, I don't know what we're doing there. City make a mess of it. Bren Johnson clears it. Rico Lewis is there. Leaves it for Stones. Oh, great touch by Stones in a bad position there. Rico Lewis left him to it. Savinho. Savinho for City. Savinho. Savinho! Caught one there, and I thought for a second that was going in the top corner. Savinho, couple of step overs. You think he's going to put it in the top corner, doesn't, but he seems to have picked up a bit of a knee injury. Although it looks like he's okay now. What are your opinions on Nunes this year, says Joel? Yeah, he's been really good, Nunes. He's a hard worker as well. Werner with the ball in here. Ake, what's he doing? Ake, I have no idea. Brennan Johnson! What a save by Ortega. Back out to Solanke. Offside flags up anyway. What is Nathan Ake doing at the back there? Instead of clearing it, he sort of just sets up Brennan Johnson with a pass to him. Johnson takes a touch, hits it. Good save by Ortega. I thought it was certainly going in. I thought he'd scored in the bottom corner. What a save by Ortega. Yeah, Joel Nunes has been brilliant. And I like that he's a hard worker as well. He's getting his chances now due to injury. And he's got to make sure he does take his chances. Romero with a sliding challenge on Kovacic. He gets the ball. Kovacic back to his feet. Here's Bissouma. Spurs looking more lively though in this second half. That's certain. Werner. Ball in by Timo Werner. It's overhit massively. Behind for a goal kick for City. Didn't Simpson Pussy play against Chelsea in pre-season, says Purple? I think he did. You're right. I think he did play against Chelsea in pre-season. Chelsea knows how to take a pen. He certainly can take a penalty, Nunes. He can run at players. He's physical. He's athletic. He's a hard worker. He's got his flaws in his game. I will say he's got his flaws in his game. I think his decision-making is not always there. I think his composure, his first touch and things like that are sometimes pretty poor. But he's doing his best, and, you know, I appreciate that. And I think, I mean, he's got more goals now than Grealish. So surely he's got to start. Dragosine. Back towards Vicario. Big switch in behind Nunes towards Gray. He's found Kulusevski. McAtee's got to get across here. McAtee slowed to him. Great. I think Nunes is absolutely everything. Nunes is absolutely everything that Manchester City squad lacks. Anything that none of these players don't have, he has. But he is sort of lacking on the things that the squad already has in ways. Ake with a header. Foul on Solanke, free kick Spurs. An ironic cheer from the Spurs fans. But yeah, Nunes has everything the City players don't. But he is lacking in some of the things that are sort of a must at times to be a Manchester City player. And that can be a bit of an issue. Dragoshin to take this for Tottenham Hotspur. Free kick about 10 yards away. He plays a long ball in behind Rico Lewis, who gets there ahead of Timo Werner. Lewis takes it down and back to John Stones. And back to Stefan Ortega does he go. Into Kovacic instead. And goes back to Stones. And City decide to go against going towards the goalkeeper. Good interception by Bissouma on O'Reilly, who's trying to get the crowd going here. And Ben Davies is going to be a substitution here for the opposition. Ortega in towards McAtee. Good ball. McAtee. Absolutely unbelievable feat from McAtee away from Bissouma. Fantastic from James McAtee. He's Nico O'Reilly. City attack now. O'Reilly. Savinho. Down this right-hand side. Savinho. On towards Rico Lewis. Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic back into Savinho again. Savinho clips it in towards the far post. Foden tries to flick it onto Nunes. Bentancur with a touch and City get it away. If he does flick it onto Nunes there, I think City score. What a ball in behind Rico Lewis to Timo Werner. He's so quick, Werner. And he's away here in behind. Timo Werner. Werner. Oh, wide the post by Werner. 3-1-1 with Ortega. And he hits it wide. Ake and Rico Lewis bursting in behind to try and get back to him. City's press beaten. Werner's in. Ends up taking it with a poor touch into his left foot. Hits it, cross the goal. Against his fellow German, Ortega. Ooh. I think it actually clips the post on the way through. Unlucky Timo Werner, very unlucky. Well, Tottenham Hotspur are going to make a change here and rest their club captain, Cuti Romero. Off comes Romero, and he's replaced by Welshman Ben Davies, former Swansea City man. Been at Spurs a very long time now. Joel's on his edge of his seat there. He thought Werner would score. To be honest with you, Joel, I'll be honest. I was pretty calm that he wasn't going to score there because he doesn't tend to. I know he did do in the game before, but he doesn't tend to score from those situations, Werner. He's quite poor in one-on-one situations. So I thought, I think he's going to miss this. Ortega pings one out towards Joshko Vardiel. Down the line towards Mateus Nunes, who holds off Archie Gray here, Nunes. And then spins Gray. He gets the ball stuck under his feet. He's given it away. Brennan Johnson and pokes it straight through and straight to Rico Lewis. And City have an attack of their own again. And here is Nico O'Reilly. And he's got a good drive at him as well. He's past Bissouma. And Bissouma with a foul from behind on Nico O'Reilly. And it's a free kick Manchester City. And yes, Bissouma. I don't know if he's going to get booked there, Bissouma, for the actual tackle that he made on the descent. Any news in City signing a backup striker, says Joel? No idea. I think they wanted Kyogo, but I think they would have pulled the trigger for Kyogo, to be honest with you. I think there's two things that made that not happen. One, that they wanted 20 million. I think City would only pay maybe maximum 15 million for Kyogo. And the second thing is, he's got a bit of a shoulder injury, hasn't he? And I think that maybe made City think against it. Maybe they thought longer term as well, being that he's 29. Here's Nico O'Reilly, who's picking up some good pockets of space at the moment. Rico Lewis. Rico. Big switch of play out towards Mateus Nunes on this left-hand side again. Nunes. Vardiol. Nunes again on the left-hand side. Vardiol. What's everyone's opinions on Pedro Porro? Was a former City player, he's been quite good at Spurs. Could he be the Kyle Walker replacement? I don't think it'll be Frimpong, by the way. Jeremy Frimpong's having a poor season at Bayer Leverkusen. And he's a winger, he's not a fullback. He's really not a fullback. We need a backup striker and a right back if Walker goes as purple. Well, what do you think about Pedro Porro? Nunes. Bad touch. Vardiel makes the most of it. McAtee. Kovacic. Switch of play to Savinho. Space for Savinho here. Savinho outside the boot pass. It's blocked away. Back out to Stones. Back onto Savinho. Under pressure, Savinho goes into John Stones. Solid player, good going forward as purple. Do you think City could convince him to leave Spurs and rejoin Manchester City? I don't know. As our right back. Vardiel into Foden, good challenge by Davies. McAtee is in there. Poor touch by James McAtee. City's defence is not there. City 3-on-1 here. City in trouble. Kulusevski, we're open again. Kulusevski, what a save by Ortega again. What a save by Ortega again. Brilliant from Stefan Ortega. City leave themselves so open at the back. But City's number 18, Stefan Ortega, I was applauding him here from my seat with an unbelievable save. Porro's good going forward to Joel defend his defending skills. Yeah. Maybe we need a more... But who does City sign at right back? Does anyone have an idea for right back? Because Porro and Frimpong are both very, very attacking players. Who's a solid right back like Kyle Walker? Who is? Because I can't think of any other right back that City could sign, to be honest with you. I have no idea what they do in the right back situation. I have a feeling if Walker goes in the summer, we won't sign anyone. We'll play Stones there or something, or a Kanji. We won't sign a right back. Ortega, the best back in the world, is purple. Certainly is. He's been brilliant. Ortega, though, with a poor pass here, straight to Destiny Udogie. Werner goes back towards Ben Davies. City put the press on here with Savinho and Phil Foden and force Spurs back to Vicario. Savinho continues to chase. McAtee. Dragosin. Archie Gray. Past Mateus Nunes. He works nice and hard to get it back, but poor touch by Vardyl, and Gray plays a throw-in quickly behind him. And Spurs run again here. And Brent Johnson to Kulusevski. Space for Kulusevski. Wide right towards Timo Werner. Werner a strike and over the bar again. Not much going down the right for City in this house, as Chris. No. Not at the moment. Need to find Savinho more. Nunes more in the left as well. But on the counters, I mean, Ake and Stones look so slow compared to these Spurs attackers. Great save by Ortega the first time. Werner puts it on the bar the second time. I wouldn't mind Reece James's purple, but he doesn't fit Pep style. He's injury prone. Yeah, due to his injury issues, I don't think City will go anywhere near Reece James. Here's Nico O'Reilly. Onto Savinho, back into O'Reilly. City give it away. And Spurs have it back again, and Foden is chasing Vicario. Vicario in towards Dragosin, who lifts it round the corner. Only as far as Vardyl down to Nunes here. Nunes can't get there ahead of Archie Gray. Vardyl against Kulusevski. Kulusevski with a nice turn, and Ake gets it back. Here is Kovacic from Manchester City. Kovacic driving. Kovacic in towards McAtee. Round the corner to Nunes. Chris says he likes Reece James. Yeah, Reece James, I've no doubt over Reece James as a player, but his injury history is terrible. I think he played about 3 games last year. Savinho, down this right-hand side. Savinho gets the ball in again. It's a good tackle by Ben Davies. A good block. Corner Manchester City. Savinho pushing down that far side. Seems to have hurt his ankle here, Savinho. He limps away again. He always seems to have picked up an injury, Savinho. Well, Bernardo Silva looks to be the man to come on for Manchester City. The Pep Guardiola's side. He's going to be the change. Corner ball for City. Phil Foden over it. Sasha Bowie says, Joel, I don't think he'd leave Bayern, to be honest with you. And he's also got a terrible injury record. A City swing a corner in here. It's away by Spurs. There's a foul in there by John Stones and Dragosin, the captain. Stones fouling Dragosin. Free kick Spurs his way. Sasha Bowie's quite a good player, Joel, but I don't think he's much defensively. And also, I just don't think that he'd leave Bayern. And like I said, he's got real bad injury issues as well, Sasha Bowie. So Phil Foden comes off for Manchester City now in the false 9 role. And he's replaced by Bernardo Silva. Bernardo on for Manchester City. Still with a bit of a cut on his head. And Savinho has gone down now. I don't know what Savinho's problem is here. But Savinho seems to have a problem here. And he's in a lot of pain here, Savinho. I think when he went to put a cross in, he's caught the ankle. Ben Davies to Savinho. This does not look good. And another winger injured. He looks in a lot of pain. Well, the Savinho goal might not be coming. He seems in a lot of pain here, Savinho. As he goes to cross it, I think Udogie just catches the studs of Savinho's ankle. He sort of felt it afterwards. I think the studs of Udogie have just sort of nicked at the ankle. Maybe Alpha Rupert can come onto his dirt. Well, if he comes on, a good chance for the young man to impress, won't it? Savinho sort of felt it after the tackle. He's run away, and he's felt it even more. Well, Jacob Wright is coming on for Manchester City. Young Jacob Wright's going to get an opportunity, but it looks like Savinho is not going to be okay. He seems in a lot of pain here. Hopefully he's not injured badly. This is purple. Well, I've no idea. Well, I don't think Savinho's going to be staying on here. Jacob Wright, the CDM says purple. Yeah, Jacob Wright's coming on. I don't know if that moves McAtee to false 9 and Bernardo outright. I mean, Pep Guardiola, why not give an opportunity to Fahad Alpha Ruprecht to come on, make his City debut? Well, Savinho seems in a lot of pain here. Right to O'Reilly, says Joel. I think they're two very different players. I think O'Reilly's a lot more of a forward-thinking player. Wright just picks up the ball and wants to make things pass. We need Haaland on, says Vibes. I wouldn't like Haaland on purely because I think he'd get injured. Well, the stretcher is coming out for Savinho here. This does not look good. So Savinho, we will have enough players. Will we have enough players for Saturday's? Asked Andrew. At this rate, we're going to be about down to the real bare bones of the squad, aren't we? I mean, Doku and Grealish are injured. Bobby's injured, so that's 3 of our wingers out injured. If Savinho's getting stretchered off now, which it looks like he's about to be. So Savinho's being stretchered off. We've literally got no wingers in the squad left. Chris has cancelled his over 60s 5-a-side match. He's ready for Bournemouth away. A long trip down to Bournemouth. So Savinho stretched off of Manchester City. That looks bad. Oh dear. Savinho stretched off. Bob out till January. Grealish, we don't know when he's going to be back after the international break apparently. So one winger in the City side fit. He looks very upset, Savinho. He's crying. He's got the shirt pulled up over the face. That might be his season over. Another one to add to the list of injuries. Guardiola asking Savinho what he's done. They just take him straight down the tunnel. Well, that looks bad. So Jacob Wright is on for Manchester City. And another injury to another forward player. Injury crisis. Vibe says Bernardo and Nunes in the wings it'll have to be. Whew. I do not want to see Bernardo on the right wing. Unfortunately, we're going to. McAtee down to O'Reilly. Our luck this year is awful, says Joel. Well, it's just the injury crisis has hit us all at once. Why buy Rico Lewis to Bernardo Silva? Bernardo. Rico Lewis. Back across the John Stones. Well, we've got to get... I think, as well, if we're in a situation where the wide players are all injured, Ruprecht, who's been playing good for the youth team, has got to get in the City side and be given a chance because he might end up playing. So give him his chance tonight where it's not a risk. Get him on, Pep. Here's Jacob Wright. Nunes. At the moment, Jacob Wright's playing left wing. Jacob Wright's playing left wing at the moment. Here's Stones. Lewis. Vardiol. City with options. Joshua Vardiol. Crossed behind to O'Reilly. O'Reilly's got Bernardo behind him. McAtee and City mess it up there. Didn't need to. Back they go. Vicario. Lays it off to Archie Gray under pressure from Jacob Wright, who goes in for the challenge. Gray still. Archie Gray forward. Bentancur takes it down. Pass it in towards Bissouma. Back towards Ben Davies. They play away out of it. Where is Nunes playing? I think he's back on the left-hand side again. Jacob Wright's sort of playing as a wide central midfielder. Nunes is on the left wing. Jacob Wright's playing as like an attacking midfielder. But he's a holding midfielder, so that's interesting. He's pretty much the furthest man forward at the moment, Jacob Wright. Playing like a striker. Davies. Archie Gray. City win it back with Vardiol. Skips away from the challenge from Brennan Johnson. Vardiol. Flicks one over top here. Dragonson away. It's poor by Vardiol. Space of Werner on the far side. They want to go the other. In towards Kulusevski. Touching their knee by this week. Kulusevski. Kulusevski still. Ball in behind towards Brennan Johnson. Onside. Johnson. Across the box here. Rico Lewis heads it away. And Jacob Wright flicks it on. Only as far as a doggy on the edge of the box. Edison in midfield on Saturday. This is Vibes here, I think. I think Ortega's going to have to start in goal. We're going to have Edison in midfield. I don't know. Chris from the comments on left wing at this rate. Or right wing. Here's Dragosine. City are just... nothing's going well at the moment at all. On the injury front. Around the corner by Werner. Flicked on by a doggy. Werner's in behind. City are lacking. Far post is Brennan Johnson. Timo Werner. Joško Vardiol always tends to mark the man at the far post. What I really like about Vardiol, he always tends to be there. Rico Lewis forgets the man at the far post, but that man Joško Vardiol doesn't. Werner bursts through and Vardiol makes sure he's in position. If they play it to Brennan Johnson at the far post, he's there to clear it away and behind for a Tottenham Hotspur corner. Corner ball. Timo Werner to take the corner. He's just won. Options on the edge of the box again for Spurs. You might try another set piece and City might get caught out once again. Timo Werner over it. Spurs take their time here. Referee tells him to hurry up. Werner near post and good save by Ortega. Collected by City's German. Stefan Ortega here. Rolls it out towards Joško Vardiol. And behind towards Jacob Wright. Right for City. Forward he brings it right. Right to Nunes. Nunes inside towards Kovacic and onto Joško Vardiol. Good play by City. Vardiol. Well, City only one goal away from taking this game to, I think, penalties. No extra time anymore. Stones. O'Reilly on the turn here. Nico. Holds off Bentancur. Well played. Wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly skips inside it. Tries to leave it for Kovacic. Rico Lewis. Stones. Missed control, but he gets away with it. Wide right to Bernardo Silva again. Bernardo. Running it. Werner here. Bernardo beats him. And a doggy. Bernardo still. Bernardo towards Rico Lewis. Ball into the box here by Rico. It's half attempted. And Werner's gone down injured and a doggy puts it out for a throw-in. But an injury for Timo Werner, who's gone down injured here. And he seemed to have pulled his groin there as he went to tackle Bernardo Silva. Man United have beaten Leicester by 5-2. Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game as manager of Manchester United and probably his last, as Ruben Amorim looks to take charge. Full time there. Mikey Moore, who is a real exciting young player. And Richarlison are set to come on. So Brighton lose 3-2 to Liverpool. Villa lose 2-1 to Palace. Newcastle beat Chelsea by 2-0 and Arsenal beat Preston by 3-0. So here are the changes for Spurs. Off comes Brennan Johnson for young Mikey Moore. Amorim should have come to us if Pep left, says Purple. Yeah, well, he'd rather go to Manchester United, I suppose, it seems. And Timo Werner also comes off. Well, City's bench at the moment, waiting to come on. But he's not even warming up his Alpha Ruprecht, so I suspect he won't be getting on the field today. And Richarlison comes on for Spurs as well. For Timo Werner. And Brennan Johnson off. Mikey Moore and Richarlison on. Tony says, cheers to the live audio commentary, listening at work in Australia. That's great. Thank you very much, Tony. That's exactly the sort of people we're doing it for. Bernardo Silva's near the box. Into Jacob Wright. Touched by Wright. Wright hits one! Oh, Jacob Wright here. The youngster. Played to him on the edge of the box by Bernardo Silva. One touch to the left foot. And then he opens his body up, bends it towards the top right-hand corner. And it's a whisker away of beating Vicario. It's just wide of the post. What a chance for Jacob Wright, who nearly equalises in what would have been a magical moment for the young man. The Spurs continue to try and play their way out the back, and they do again. Ben Davies long, McAtee. They've played themselves into trouble once again. James McAtee. Wide to Bernardo Silva once again. Rico Lewis. Back wide right to Bernardo. Back onto Rico Lewis. Stones. City are pushing for that equaliser, the best they can do. Nathan Ake. Wide left to Jacob Wright. Once again, he's holding a lot of space on this left-hand side. Playing like a left winger. He's scored a lot of goals so far for the youth side so far. He's captain the youth side. He takes the penalties for the youth team. Ake into Vardiol. Finds McAtee. Nice touches. Kovacic. The space on the other side. Kovacic fires into Nico O'Reilly here. O'Reilly. Little spin on it. Little pirouette. O'Reilly. Drops the shoulder. O'Reilly. Back wide to Nunes. Great play. Nunes. Matheus Nunes with a terrible strike. He's offside anyway. He just sort of bends it tably off that left-hand side. The angle was way too tight into the hands of Vicario. Should have done a lot better there. Nunes after a good play from Nico O'Reilly. Good find, despite Nunes being offside. Nunes drops it on the penalty spot. Vicario drops it in the penalty spot. The goalkeeper. Ball over towards a doggy who gets it onto Richarlison up against John Stones. Richarlison tries to run Stones. Good defending Man City's captain. Just on the halfway line on the right side. Knocks out for a throw-in. Solanke. Here's Yus Bissouma. Good play by him in towards Archie Gray on the centre circle. Spurs are forced back here by Dragosine. Back to the goalkeeper. It's Jacob Wright, the furthest man forward again. Pressing. Archie Gray under pressure from Nunes. Good pressing from Nunes. Puts it out for a throw-in for Spurs. Good pressing for City there from Nunes. Stopping Spurs getting out. Stuck in their own half at the moment. Struggling to play out of it at times. Throw-in for Archie Gray. Well, Jacob Wright at times. It's sometimes James McAtee all playing the most furthest forward. Solanke here. Tackled by Kovacic. All the way through to Vicario. Spurs can start again. 71 minutes on the clock here at the London Stadium. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. I think the London one's West Ham. They won't like that, will the Spurs fans. Dragosine. Onto Archie Gray. Nice touches and great play by Archie Gray. Kovacic in there. Gray plays a good pass. Here's Kulusevski. He's got Mikey Moore to the right of him. Here's young Mikey Moore. Far post to Richarlison. Dealt with by Stones. A good touch. And John Stones brings it away. Richarlison's playing off the left. Mikey Moore playing off the right. Stones, no options to pass to. Goes into Ake. Ake off. Solanke out for a throw-in. Ake played for that there. Joel says he's not too bothered if we lose. We could benefit from being knocked out extra games for such a long season. Yeah, but I think the one thing about being at the Carabao Cup is it gives a chance for the younger players to get games. And I would like some of the younger players to still play games. So that being said, with the injuries City are suffering from, the younger players could be playing first-team football a lot more often than they expected. Throwing by Vardiel back to Stefan Ortega. Works it wide right to Nico O'Reilly, who's played very well today, by the way. Lewis, O'Reilly. Back to Ortega. City confidently playing out from the back. Ortega sends it long here. Dragosine jumps into James McAtee. Foul goes Spurs' way. What for? It's actually Davies. Jumps right into the back of McAtee. And they give a free kick Spurs' way for some reason. Well, City are making their final substitution. Fahad Alpha Ruprecht is not going to get on for his City debut. It's 18-year-old Jemai Simpson-Poussey who's going to come on here for City. Ruprecht is not going to make his Manchester City debut, but he has made it onto the bench. He's in Pep Guardiola's sights, perhaps. Nathan Ake comes off for City. They make that final change. So a youngster on number 66, 18 years of age. But no Ruprecht. I would have liked to have seen him come on. You want to see the attacking players, don't you, really? McAtee chases this one down. Vicario is there. Long by Vicario. Stones ahead against Solanke. Offside against Dominic Solanke. Free kick City. John Stones to take it. About 5 yards away from the halfway line. Quite high up City play. You see how high City's line is with that. Stones. The ping out towards Nunes on the left-hand side. Matheus Nunes gets the head of Archie Gray. Nunes. Looking to try to take on Gray. Plays out to Joško Vardiel. Vardiel in towards Jacob Wright. Back to Vardiel. He's lost it. Rico Lewis doesn't make the run. City can't win it back. Counter on. Nunes goes and cuts it out. Well played Nunes. And he pings it back out wide right to Bernardo Silva, who just misjudges the flight of the ball. And puts it out for a throw-in but keeps it in. And City can keep that press on. But it is looking like Manchester City. I don't know where the goals are going to come from here for City, really. I don't know where that second goal is going to come from. And Pep Guardiola looking pretty happy on the bench. But I don't know where the second goal is going to come from. I think that is the issue City have got. And they've got it back here from a Spurs mistake on the throw-in. Simpson-Poussey in towards Stones. Oh, bad pass by Stones to Nico O'Reilly. But he gets his body in there, O'Reilly. And being a big physical young man, does really well. Since Busse skips past another way. Rico Lewis. Late challenge by Bissouma on Rico. Here's O'Reilly. Wide they go. Bernardo Silva. Back out to O'Reilly. Lewis back to his feet now. Rico. O'Reilly. Turns away from Richarlison. Once Bernardo Silva. O'Reilly again. Rico. Is he trying to play the way round this side? Here's Nunes. Back out to Kovacic. Is he trying to break down the Spurs side? It's something been trying all night. Nunes in behind to Vardiel here. Good ball. Vardiel, the fullback, takes it. Vardiel could cross it. Vardiel across the box here. Oh, McAtee's waited. It's just behind him. Spurs could counter with Mikey Moore. Simpson Poussey reads it really well. And goes back to Stefan Ortega. Nunes. Heavy touch back to Simpson Poussey here. Across to John Stones. Stones. Ball was there through. Solanke fouls John Stones. 3-kick City. Kovacic. Rico Lewis. Switch of play to Nunes. Dealt with by Archie Gray. Vardiel there against Kulusevski. Physically outdoes him. Vardiel kicked by Dejan Kulusevski. And Vardiel has injured himself here now. Well, this does not look good for City again. Because there's another injury now for Joško Vardiel. He's back on his feet. But he seems to have injured himself, Vardiel. He's back on his feet. But he's holding the inside of his leg here. Hopefully he's okay. We don't need another injury. Will Rodri come out at half-time, do you think, with the Ballon d'Or our next home game? Apparently, Joel, he will do. Nunes. Back into right. Battle for it. Vardiel. Back onto Nunes. Throwing for City. Back to Simpson Poussey here. Onto John Stones. Come on, City. Can we get the goal that gets us level? City playing it out from the back. City trying to break them down. Long ball forward by City towards Bernardo Silva. It's a terrible pass. It's a really bad pass by the young centre-back. He's tried it, but it's not worked at all. Thumbs up by Pep Guardiola for the 18-year-old, but it's not good enough. Pressing by City again. Bissouma onto a doggy. Spurs play himself into a bit of problems here. Rico Lewis can't get there. Richarlison against John Stones. Pushed by Stones through the legs. Simpson with a foot in there. He's done really well there, the young man. There's a throw for City. He's done really well to stop the counter-attack. Over the halfway line. Kovacic. Been all Manchester City in this game. Jacob Wright under pressure. So composed. Wide right towards Bernardo Silva. O'Reilly. Simpson. Vardiel. Back into John Stones. Back wide right to Bernardo Silva. Bit of space for the Portuguese on this right-hand side. He gives it straight to Richarlison and gives it away. It's poor from Bernardo Silva. Richarlison through the legs of Nico O'Reilly, who tries to take him out. Ball through to Solanke, who's surely offside. Simpson stepped up there, the young man. Really well. Really well read by the young centre-back. Really well there, City. The young defender showing his experience. Which is literally none, but he's got it. Maybe after this, if he'd like to drive Rodri's mobility scooter onto the pitch for the trophy. I tell you what, talk about throwing your toys out the pram. Vinicius Jr. is a big baby, isn't it? Oh, a great ball out to Nunes in the left-hand side here. Jacob Wright in the overlap. Nunes onto our right. Right with the crossing here. Straight in the head of Dragosine. Corner Manchester City. Come on, City. Keep pushing. These young lads are doing us very proud, actually. Jacob Wright says he'll take the corner. Can he get this in the top of John Stones? Vicario just pushing everyone away from him. Cross comes in here. Away by Spurs. A couple of City players went down the box there. Nunes. Rico Lewis. Wide towards Bernardo Silva on this right-hand side. Bernardo. McAtee. Crosses one in. Flicked on by Bentancur to the far post. Wright with a cross across the box. Bernardo at the far post. Bernardo Silva back across the box again. Jacob Wright with a volley. Slices it wide for a throw-in. Oh, if he catches that right, he's a hero. Puts it across the box. Bernardo Silva gets there. Back in. Right on the volley, but he catches it all wrong. He's leaning back. He gets right underneath it and slices it. But he's impressed today in midfield, Jacob Wright. Spurs hanging on. Throw in Spurs. 80 minutes on the clock here. Solanke holds off Rico Lewis. Richarlison. Lewis puts it out for a throw-in. Bernardo gives it back to a doggy who takes his time. Goal scored in 80 minutes in the Premier League this season. 4 Premier League teams have scored 3. AFC Bournemouth, one of the best goal scorers with 5. Manchester City with 6 goals after the 80th minute here so far this season. O'Reilly wins it back. Kulusevski. Ball in behind Vardiol. Moore was offside, I'm sure. Ortega lumps it away. They don't give the offside and let Spurs get the ball back. Solanke. Here's Richarlison. A doggy. Bernardo Silva with a pull on Richarlison there. Dragusin. Great. Vardiol goes and wins it. Puts his foot through it. One to chase. Wright chases it. Vicario panicking. Heads it. Straight to Wright. Dragusin. Wright heads it on. Unlucky. He's gone out for a Spurs throw on this far right-hand side here. Or Spurs' right-hand side. Archie Gray to take it. He's played well, the young man, Gray. 18 years of age at right back for Spurs. Had a few tough tests against Nunes, but he's played okay. Nunes heads it into the midfield here. Bentancur goes and picks it up. He goes wide left to Richarlison, and City in big trouble here. And here's Richarlison. Rico Lewis across to him. Richarlison. Looking to shoot onto a doggy. Back out to Kulusevski. Crossing here. Head away by Simpson. As far as Bissouma. Spurs can't score from the opportunity. Dragusin back out to Davies. They start again. The Welshman switched it wide right to Mikey Moore. Vardiol beats him to it and on to Nunes. Archie Gray beats Nunes to it. Nunes pushes Archie Gray out for a throw into Manchester City. But he's fought the young man, Archie Gray, he really has. Came for the Leeds Academy. Showed, really good performances for them as well. Vardiol to take this throw in for City. No one to push for here, no one to throw it to. Vardiol throws it straight to Richarlison! Saved by Edison! Or saved by Ortega it is. What a stupid throwing by Vardiol. He had no one to throw it to at all. Richarlison has to score there. Vardiol throws it straight to Richarlison. An assist. Richarlison kicks it straight at Ortega. What are City doing? Defensively, our errors, our mistakes are really poor. Throw in by Spurs. Good feet by Solanke. Vardiol puts it out for a throw-in. Mateo Kovacic is not happy. Richarlison should have scored there without a doubt. Without a doubt. He was too busy worrying if Vinicius Jr. would score it because he spent a lot of his time complaining about him not winning the Ballon d'Or, hasn't he, Richarlison? Head across the box here. Nunes away on towards Bernardo Silva. Davies is going to get back towards Bernardo Silva. Little back heel straight to Richarlison and says, Spurs come again. So bad by Bernardo. Vardiol would have got an assist just for, like the FA Cup says, purple. Well, Rico Lewis is not happy that Richarlison has gone down here with foul. Does Rico Lewis foul Richarlison? I'm watching it. Doesn't touch him, but Richarlison goes down anyway and then pretends he's injured. He even kicks the ball away out of play to try and waste time a little bit when it's next to him for the free kick. We know what Richarlison's like. He's always been like that. No surprises there. It's a free kick for Spurs. I think it's Mikey Moore over this one. In a good position. The left-hand side of City's box. Mikey Moore with an in-swinger. Richarlison in there, Solanke as well. Well, City haven't been so good at defending set pieces this season. I'm not sure if we're going to start now, but we'll have to see. Because Mikey Moore has a chance to swing one into the box. And City get it away, well played. Good defending. And long towards Spurs. John Stones nods it down to Simpson here. City back in control again. Simpson across to John Stones. Stones to Manchester City. Got to push now. Final 5 for City. Bernardo Silva, who feels relatively pretty ineffective on the far side. Simpson, great pass on towards Vardiol after a terrible pass by Rico Lewis. The young man makes the most of it. Rico, Lewis here. Lewis taken down by Bissouma. Referee says he gets the ball. Nunes goes and picks it off the Dragosin. He doesn't. It's out for a City throw-in. And Ange gives it back to Vardiol. On to Simpson. Number 66 across to John Stones. Back to Stefan Ortega. How is Jan Q doing at Dortmund, says Joel? I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen much of Dortmund, but Dortmund have been pretty poor. And I think defensively, he's very poor, Jan Q. So he's got a bit of an attitude as well, actually. Here's Vardiol. On towards Rico Lewis. Rico. Wide right to Bernardo. Bernardo swung in here. Jacob Wright is in there. The defending Vicario flaps at it. Push it away from Nunes just. Mikey Moore picks it up. Lucky. And he gives it straight back to Vardiol. Vardiol the ball in off Archie Gray. Behind for the corner Manchester City. Well, not long left in this one. 87 minutes in the clock. Purple says he's Cancelo without a defender. I mean, Cancelo's not much of a defender either. So, I mean, if you know, I went and watched Girona play, and Jan Couto seemed to have a lot of an attitude. He did, Jan Couto. A lot of an attitude. James McAtee is just stood next to Vicario. He's not actually doing anything. And Vicario just puts 2 hands on him and pushes him away. Which I don't know if that is allowed, but the referee's letting it happen. Jemai Simpson-Persay is also stood proper near Vicario here. A bit of pressure on the goalkeeper. We know he flaps at things when it comes in from the corner. In from Jacob Wright. Far post to Bernardo Silva. Stones is there. Vicario's lost it. Nico O'Reilly off the line by Bissouma. What a chance. Vicario flaps at it. Nico O'Reilly catches it. And Yiz Bissouma clears it off the line. Bissouma off the line. What a block. Saves his side. Nico O'Reilly doesn't get his goal. Corner ball again. Well, if we go to penalties, we're probably losing it anyway. Bernardo in. Vardiol across the near post. He hits too much on it, Vardiol. And it's behind for a goal kick. Headed over by Vardiol. So close as Chris. So very close. I think that'll be City's last chance of the game. Hits Stones. Bounces off a doggy. O'Reilly with a strike. And it's the studs of Bissouma that keeps it off the line. Very good block. Very good block by Bissouma. Guardiola scratching his head. What a block. What a block by Yves Bissouma. Goal kick for Spurs. That might be City's last chance. O'Reilly through the back of him comes Solanke. Onto the chest of Richarlison. Pushed by Stones and Richarlison. Wide to Solanke. Bursting past Rico Lewis. Ball to far post to Mikey Moore. And in there is Stefan Ortega to cut it out. And he rolls it back out to Vardiol. Joshko. On towards Nunes. He spins Archie Gray. He's pulling the shirt of Nunes. Nunes keeps going here. Nunes still trying to go here. And the yellow card surely coming out for Archie Gray. Nunes spun in. He kept going. And Archie Gray, no intention but just to keep pulling the shirt of Mateus Nunes. He knew he'd lost him. A free kick Manchester City. And I mean, it's one of the most obvious yellow cards you'll see for Archie Gray there. Nunes spins him. And Archie Gray just keeps hold of him. Simpson-Persay here. Vardiol wide towards Mateus Nunes. 3 Spurs players come across to him. Vardiol. Simpson. Stones. Wide right to Bernardo Silva where things don't tend to happen on that side. Bernardo beats Richarlison. Bernardo pulls into the box here. Chance for right. Spurs make a mess in the back and they get it away just. 6 added minutes. There's going to be 6 added minutes here. Will City pounce to get an equaliser? Simpson, we say wide towards Mateus Nunes. Archie Gray's in a yellow card. Nunes knows that. I'd be trying to get him booked again and sent off. Otherwise, he's got to leave you, let you go through. Wide towards Bernardo Silva. O'Reilly makes a run wide right. Bernardo into Simpson here. In towards Jacob Wright. Vardiol deflects off Dragosine. It's into the hands of Vicario. He'll sit on it. Well, the young academy players are giving the best. Vicario to send it long here. Manchester City in a bit of bother. Looks like they're going to go out in the Carabao Cup. Simpson here jumped into by Dominic Solanke. To throw in Manchester City. Vardiol to take it. Simpson. It's Rico Lewis. Kovacic under pressure from Kulusevski. Evades the challenges of 1 or 2. Kovacic there. Then he goes wide towards Nico O'Reilly. Got to keep the ball moving a bit quicker here, City. O'Reilly slows things down. Bernardo Silva. Back into Rico Lewis. I think City sometimes just that go at teams we don't quite have. Simpson. Into Wright, who turns Bentancur, makes a sliding challenge. Only as far as Nunes with a tackle. Nunes. Wright. Wright with the ball in. It's not a bad ball in, but Nico O'Reilly can't get there. And I think that might be Nico O'Reilly's day over in terms of running. He looks like he's got a bit of cramp here. Considering everything, it's a bad result, but a decent performance from a City side, yeah. We don't need to be too down out about this year. We're missing players. We're missing players massively, aren't we? And more injuries again today. Pep Guardiola goes with a stronger side. Akanji's picked up an injury in the warm-up. Savinho has been forced off injured as well. So 2 more injuries added to the big long list. City working at about 40% of the squad at the moment. Long by Spurs. Haven't played well, I don't think, Spurs, really, but you got the result. Vardiol diving header back to Ortega. Well played, Joshko. Rolls it into O'Reilly, turns. O'Reilly into Kovacic. Kulusevski trying to stop Kovacic. Takes a heavy touch here, Kovacic. He bursts away with great play. Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic edge of the box to Wright. Jacob Wright. Jacob Wright! Oh! Pulls it past the post, young Jacob Wright. Another chance for the youngster. I think he's going to put his foot through this. He goes to sort of the curling bend strike. Quite wide of the post. He's got to sort of smash that, I think, with the laces. Go low and hard. He's had 2 or 3 good chances today, right? Well, the City fans that have travelled down to Spurs are going to be disappointed. They're going to see their side go out of the Carabao Cup, it looks like. 3 minutes remain of added time. Come on, City. Well, lost to Crystal Palace, didn't they? Tottenham. Only a few days ago. Manchester City throw-in. Ange Postecoglou does not look happy, by the way. Does not look happy with his side's performance, despite the 2-1 lead. Rico Lewis. Across to Jamai Simpson per se. Vardiol. Joshko. City. Spurs have got everyone back here. Simpson per se with a switcher play. A doggy heads it straight away to Bernardo Silva. Another throw for City. That was a poor pass by the young man. Jacob Wright, the youth kid's been impressive personally. Yeah, I mean, they have. They might get more chances, especially until January if City... I don't think City will sign on anyway. Late challenge by Richarlison and Wright. Referee says play on. He got the ball. A doggy. Richarlison. Ball in behind to Solanke and Jamai Simpson per se reads it again. Well done, the young man. Ortega. Into Kovacic. Come on, City. One last chance. Can we create just one last chance? Kovacic. Wide to Jacob Wright and James McAtee. McAtee on towards Bernardo Silva. Wright. McAtee. Wright again. John Stones. City pushing everything forward here. You might as well lose 3-1 trying to make it 2-2. McAtee's got a bit of an injury. You can see him limping. Bernardo. Wright. Ball in by Wright. Options in there. O'Reilly with a header. That was the final chance of the game. And Nico O'Reilly heads it up and into the stands. Erling Haaland, I think, might finish that one off. To be honest with you. Good balling by Wright. O'Reilly is there. But it's over the bar by Nico O'Reilly. And that was the last chance for Manchester City. The players don't seem too bothered, the City players on the bench. All smiles from them. Pep Guardiola's pretty happy as well. I don't think City are bothered about going out of this cup at all. Long by Vicario. Header by City. It's a Spurs throw in here. Archie Gray slowly across to it. I think that'll be it. That was the last chance, Nico O'Reilly's chance. But Manchester City are going out of the Carabao Cup. A first half, 2 poor defensive mistakes in the first half are what cost us really. Because actually we've not been that bad. But City have actually played pretty well. And the academy lads have impressed. Well, Vardiol's down with a head injury here. And that is the game over. Well done, Spurs. They go through. I don't think they played particularly well, but they got the win. Manchester City, the injury crisis continues. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been great to cover the game with you. And we'll be covering more games, of course, in the future. And I think we'll be back for Bournemouth on the weekend on Saturday. I'm pretty sure we'll be back for Bournemouth on the weekend. City out the Carabao Cup, but we're still in the Premier League. We're still in the FA Cup, because it hasn't started yet. And of course, we're still in the Champions League. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. It makes a big difference to the channel. And we'll see you guys next time.